Bourgogne makes you think of city things. Bordeaux makes you talk about them. And Champagne makes you do them. So we had to come and explore the Champagne area in a crazy ride tour. And Épernay is often referred to as the capital of Champagne, as it houses numerous champagne houses, including the famous ones, especially here on the Avenue de Champagne. So therefore we chose Épernay as our central point for our sipping champagne tour. The wine regions in France can be divided into 11 major regions that span a wide variety of climates and territories. The three most influential and famous ones are the Bourgogne, Bordeaux and Champagne. The Champagne region is divided into two parts, the northern and the southern part, and we are in the northern part that roughly covers the area between Reims, Châlons de Champagne and Épernay, also called the Golden Triangle. And can you imagine that under this Avenue de Champagne there's almost a whole entire city of its own? 110 kilometers, 70 miles of wine cellars with 200 million bottles of champagne. Still wines from this region were already known before medieval times. The Romans were the first to build vineyards in this region. The Champenois were envious of the reputation of their neighboring Bourgogne wines, and its northerly climate of this region gave the Champenois a unique set of challenges in making red wine. The wines were lighter bodied and thinner than the wines they were seeking to outdo. Although it is popular belief that Dom Pérignon did invent sparkling white wine, he did not. The first recorded sparkling white wine dates back to 1531 near Carcassonne. Dom Pérignon did, however, develop and refine the method of champagne making. He also invented the cork, improving the shelf life of the bottles, and developed the champagne bottles with thicker glass to prevent them from exploding. And the rest is history, as they say. We will take you to his abbey in Haute-Villers with his grave in Ride 2 of our Sipping Champagne tour. If you want to know everything about the creation and history on wine in the Champagne area, visit this museum. I can already tell you that the 19th century saw an exponential growth in the production and sale of champagne, going from a regional 300,000 bottles in 1800 to 20 million in 1850, and in 2007 the champagne sales hit a record with more than 338 million bottles. And of course, sparkling wines are produced over the world, but many legal structures reserve the word champagne for wine from this region, made in accordance with a lot of strict regulation. We prefer to get to know everything on champagne by tasting it, so why don't we go on a tour in probably the most famous champagne house just across the road.
Welcome to our house, Moet and Chandon.
Moet et Chandon is one of the world's both largest and famous champagne producers. It started as Moet et Cie, Moet & Co, established in 1743 by the Épernay winemaker Claude Moet. No, not the French painter Claude Monet that we took as our inspiration for our tour in Normandy. Claude Moet started shipping his champagne from Épernay to Paris, but towards the end of the 18th century, his grandson, Jean-Rémy Moet, became famous as the man who introduced champagne to the world. The most important figures of that era, from the Marquise de Pompadour to Napoleon, fell in love with his wine, making Moet et Chandon an icon for success and elegance. In 1833, the company was renamed Moet et Chandon after Pierre Gabriel Chandon de Braille, Jean-Rémy's son-in-law, joined the company as a partner. When we were here in Epernay, we visited another big champagne house, Mercier. Especially nice if you don't want to walk all those cellars and caves, because a train will bring you right through. Both are very nice to visit, and we will share both links with you if you want to visit either one or the other. But you can also look for a smaller, less famous champagne house. And we chose this Le Galais Champagne, some 9 kilometers, 6 miles outside of Epernay, and it's 4 acres walled vineyards.
Here, tiny cellar. You remember I told you $25,000 a year, 4 years aging.
In 1927, Charlotte Le Galais bought this domain in Boursault, formerly owned by Madame Veuve Clicquot. After 5 generations, Charlotte still runs part of this domain. 7 plots, all with its own particulars, overlooking the Marne Valley. The press, cellars and winery are here on the familial Clos too, and it guarantees food freshness when it comes to being pressed and transported. Cheers! Oh, and of course we will share the website of Le Galais Champagne as well, because it is a great experience here in the vineyards. In the center of Epernay, there's also another attraction that we wanted to try. This gigantic helium balloon with a capacity of 29 people goes up in the air for 150 meters, almost 500 feet, giving you a 360 degree. Luckily, it's strapped to the ground. The balloon is heavily dependent on weather, and we thought today would be a perfect day, but there's too much wind, so the balloon is not going up. So if you have booked tickets in advance via the link that we will share with you, make sure to call the morning of your flight to see if the balloon is going. In the historical center of Epernay you will find many beautiful sites, such as this Église Notre-Dame. It is very well preserved, and if you're interested you can admire several works of art and beautiful, colorful stained glass windows. In the old town you will find many shops and restaurants, and you can enjoy picturesque streets and cozy squares. Of course, we do not promote to drink and drive, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy a motorcycle road trip here in the Champagne area. Nice riding during the day and some tasting of champagne at night, or maybe an extra day. Don't forget that there are separate videos on the rides that you can do in this Sipping Champagne tour. We really enjoyed our stay here in Epernay, and we are sure that you will too, with all the information and the list of recommended accommodations. Besides the list, we also have a separate video with all the recommended hotels in Epernay. It's in the middle of your screen. And if you like this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel with turning on the notifications, and then we will see you on another crazy ride.